Alright, welcome back. Another stream. This time, I'm gonna be doing some speedrun attempts. Alright. Whoops, that's me. Mute that. So, trying out the Rivulet. I'm doing ascension runs because I don't exactly like the campaign. Well, for speedruns. I do like the ascension route a lot, although I haven't decided on a consistent path. My strategy right now is to go to the Farmer's Echo first, and then Chimney Canopy, Sky Islands Subterranean, and then to the depths from there. You only need 4 echoes to get enough karma. There is some alternative ideas, like not going to Farmer's early so you don't have to spend too much time getting karma. That way you can... Well, I'll just start the run. I can talk about this a bit more. So not going for Farmer's early, and instead after getting the Farmer's Echo after the Sky Islands Echo. Although the problem with that is that you'd have to go from Sky Islands all the way down to Farmer's for multiple cycles. As the hunter, you can just go all the way from Sky Islands down to Farmer's, get the Echo, and then you'll come back. You don't have to waste any time down there. But I'd have to spend an extra cycle, and that's much easier from outskirts, because there's a shelter right next to the Echo. So you can get that Echo, immediately leave, and head over to Chimney Canopy. Another strategy is to go for the exterior Echo at the top of the wall, because since that one is active immediately, you can go up there in one cycle. Okay, I messed that up. You can get there in one cycle, and you'll come back all the way down to the Chimney Canopy shelter, so you wouldn't waste any time. Although the wall is a fairly difficult area, and I don't know if doing that would be any faster than just getting the Farmer's one. Another strategy is to just completely ignore the one in Subterranean, and after getting one of the... Okay, I grabbed a rock there just for that monster kelp. Ignore the one in Subterranean. Just get the Farmer's Sky Island Chimney wall echoes. And then passage down to outskirts, or to drainage, and then heading to filtration from there. Forgot how fast this guy is. Yeah, Rivulet. I've already done a few attempts with this run, and it's very fast. I think it's one of the fastest. Well, okay, it's Ascension, so you don't have to go through the campaign, which is usually longer for the other slug cuts, except for maybe Artificer. But this run is very fast. It has the potential to be faster than Pebbles percent as Survivor. Sometimes there's scavengers in this area. They can be annoying to deal with. But there's also a pearl in this room. I already know food. There's a pearl here. If I run into scavengers, I can just give this to them. This not an echo. This eel lizard has become a bit of an annoyance in these runs. Take the pearl. There's always an eel lizard in this area. He likes to be in this tunnel. He just totally blocks access. I'm gonna hold on to this pearl. I'll need one for the farm raised hole. Because there could be a blue lizard in that room. So this is the part of the run where you need to farm a bit of karma. It's something that I'm not exactly a fan of. If you head up to the wall echo, you'll just get karma on the way, because you'll need to stay in shelters pretty often. Anyway. But for this one, you have to spend a few cycles just sitting around farming karma. And you have to deal with this guy sometimes. Luckily, there's plenty of food in this area, so it doesn't take too long. Yo, welcome to the stream. Also, I'll probably try to focus a bit more on the game instead of reading chat. Okay, it's really lucky that there's a spear down there. This would also be a very different route with karma caching, because you could spend a few cycles, or you could get the necessary karma a lot faster. Another idea is going through the gutter. If you karma cache in drainage, you can go through the gate to chimney. And that gets you to chimney canopy a lot faster than going through outskirts and industrial. So if you do a strategy that involves going to the echo at the top of the wall, that would be better. Although I don't know if it's better than spending the time to karma cache. Gotta be a little more careful around this hill. Alright, I guess it's a popcorn plant up there. It might be a good idea to starve to get an extra cycle and then eat a popcorn plant safely. I didn't have to eat that right now. It's probably the least interesting part of the run. Goodness. I'm debating whether I should keep wall pouncing on or not, because you can use it for some like specific movements that's actually a lot faster than normal. But you can also accidentally do things like that, which end up slowing you down. It hasn't rained so far, or the shelter hasn't broken so far. Which definitely changes the way the run works. You won't be able to stay in that shelter multiple times. And if it'll definitely get in the way if you're trying to karma cache. That might be annoying. There is an option to turn it off, although I don't know if that will be allowed. That's the case for a lot of remix options and things like that. There's just a lot more customization in terms of how the game can be played, so I'll have to figure out what the rules should be to take that into account. I think I want to go this way. Oops, I didn't mean to throw the pearl there. Because Rivulet can definitely go through this area. Let's not die to worm grass. I'll need to be more careful about how I do this. You would not be able to do that normally. Without wall bouncing. Excuse me. Also, if you do that area optimally, I don't know if it'd be faster to do that or go the top route like normal. I want to get through here before the lizards become a problem. Goodness. I don't know if the lizard got me or not. Oh, right. I already have a pearl in my stomach. You can do starving to get karma faster, although it's risky because if you die, then you lose a lot more time. I usually only use that strategy if there's a popcorn plant really close to the shelter, because then it's really easy to get enough food. So I just need to activate this echo before heading back to that shelter. It's already about to rain. Really short cycles. Hopefully I can make it back. Oh shoot, I messed that up. No! Oh, come on. There's fall damage there. I might have been able to make it if I went into that lower tunnel. If I made it to that lower tunnel, I might have been able to make it through. That's unfortunate. This is why the stream is speedrun practice and not actual speedrun attempts. I'd rather continue and get some practice in the later areas than restarting at the very beginning over and over again. Although karma can be a problem here. That's why I got the karma flower at the beginning. Since this gate has a 5 karma requirement. I wonder if this is faster than just going through the other side. I'll try going the top route this time. I think that could be faster. Maybe the bottom route would be better if you climbed up this thing faster. Centipede, I would appreciate it if you weren't here. What is it doing? Yeah, this way. This I would rather not deal with. Why are all of them this way? There's a single scavenger left. Does that mean I can cross the toll for free? That was my own. Any tips for the pursued burden? I don't know. I didn't really have any difficulty with that. Like most of the time, your pursuer doesn't even like, find you in a whole region. if you encounter them, just wait for them to like wait outside the room that they're in. Wait for the pipe to flash, and then go through. That should give you enough time to just continue where you're going. Always take advantage of pipes when you're around those kind of dangerous creatures. Whoops, I did not mean to throw the pearl. Please don't come down here. Why did you do this? They are immune to worm grass. I just have to bait them into this room. Come on. Why? Okay. That was kind of awful. But there aren't many lizards here. So here's the thing, I did activate this echo. I don't have enough karma. Maybe I should have paid attention to that. Yeah, once you have to waste the cycle farming karma, I don't think it's worth continuing on. This is why I've been thinking about strategies that don't involve farm arrays. Although it would have been fine if I just didn't die to the rain. That's the only problem with that run. Also, you can do slides on these semi-solid platforms. You just have to tap down for a short amount of time to start the slide. If you hold down, you're just going to fall through the platform. Great. Purgatory. Oh, come on. I tried to avoid that. I didn't know that there was a sound effect for when they were charging that up. I should be careful about that fall. That kelp is kind of interesting. It's pretty easy to just run straight past it. But also there's a decent chance that it's just going to grab you. So it might be safe to hold onto a spear there anyway. To cross safely. But I like to hold on to 2 fruit so that I don't have to spend as much time getting it next cycle. Games that I speedrun before. I haven't really done too many speedruns. I've mostly been interested in speedrunning this game because of the movement system and just kind of my playstyle. I just thought it was fascinating that you're able to cross like multiple regions in a single cycle. So I tried doing challenges like going from the top of like the wall around pebbles. I didn't grab the other farm. Going from the wall over to the depths in a single cycle. And learning that route and optimizing it to like basically go through the whole game in a single cycle. That was a lot of fun. And so speedruns were kind of a similar idea, like just try to get through the game with some specific route in mind as fast as possible. I gave them a pearl. I really don't like these kind of areas where you enter a pipe and there's just a ton of creatures in the way because there's no other way to go through the room. I guess I've technically speedran Celeste before. Although, like, everyone who plays Celeste has speedran it at some point. It's, like, kind of designed for it. I rarely do, like, speedruns based on, like, a specific route. Like, you learn this sequence of actions, and you follow that sequence consistently to get through the game in an optimal way. And the only time I've actually practiced a specific route is for Celeste and for Rainworld. But in other games, I like to do like attempts of like how fast can I beat it without doing too much practice beforehand or looking at strategies. Oh, thank you, White Livy. I made that easier to deal with. It's probably gonna rain next, or one of these cycles, which is really annoying. Maybe I should try a little harder to get Karma and Drainage System, because this is like the one shelter where it's convenient to get Karma in. I didn't mean to fall down there. It's possible to get all those fruit without ever dropping down into this area. Ah, wow. I messed it up both times. I didn't mean to catch this batfly, but I suppose it helps. Okay, no shelter failure. Makes this a bit easier. Okay, that was a bit close. I messed up the slide pounce. Alright, this is a very long cycle, so hopefully it's enough time to get the Echo and Farmer is. I just feel bad for the lizards when their shelters are right next to a pole plant or a monster kelp. The centipede always manages to be in the worst possible spot. It's like it knew. It's like it knew where I was gonna go. You know, I could bring that karma flower over to the scavengers, so it gives a. They value those quite a bit. Probably because the scavengers have karma, as we learned from the artificer campaign. Scavengers have a very similar karma system to the slug cat. Hello. So they probably value karma flowers for the same reason that we do. Hello, I have a pearl. Can you? That was a little bit close. Fortunate. I always used to go the top route to get to this echo, without ever realizing that this way is much faster. And you don't have to go through the rooms with all the lizards or centipedes or worm grass. Except you kind of end up in a worse position coming back. So I think it's pretty much only the Rivulet who's able to easily go back up this. And of course, like Artificer, but Saints, like they all have great mobility. I suppose compared to the Survivor. So now we're just going back to. I wonder if there might be a good strategy to stay in a shelter in outskirts, activate the echo, and then die with a karma flower, so that your karma doesn't go low enough so you can't go through the gate. And then when you go see the echo, it'll return you back to that shelter in outskirts where you can easily go into industrial. That might be interesting. Although you'd have to spend a lot more time going through the scavenger toll and the karma gate. So after getting that echo, you pretty much don't have to worry about. Don't worry after about karma. At least for the sake of a practice run. Ideally, you would never worry about karma because you would never die in a perfect speedrun. Ah, pearl. Might as well take this. Because it's a colored pearl that respawns at the end of a cycle. Or at the start of a cycle, I suppose. Wasn't me. Oh, great. There has to be a lizard in the way. Hello. Goodbye. Well, you're really helping me out there. I already got food at the popcorn plant. Oh, come on. That's too far to fall down. Should probably try to land on that hole. Hello. I have no idea how I did that. Goodness. See, that's one of those moments where you don't want wall passes. I don't like this tunnel. We're good. It's gonna be safe and sheltered in here. If you can make it up to the chimney canopy one, then that's another option. But both of these are very close to the route you want to go on anyway. Very short cycle. Might not even be enough to get through chimney. Oh, come on. I definitely not have enough time if I mess up here. Luckily, the timer does not count time spent in gates. This area can be a bit rough, depending on how many lizards are in this room. Right here. Or centipedes. Although they're not really that big of a problem. What you really should be worried about here is leaf lizards. I was going to throw a rock at this orange lizard, but then the leaf lizard got in the way. And then the orange lizard got me, and I missed the rock I threw at it. That's wonderful. Okay, a little bit of a longer cycle, so. Got some more time to. Also a good reason why you might want to stay in the chimney shelter. You don't have to go through this gate every time. It's faster to do that wall jumps. Yep, this can happen sometimes. They all just pile up. What is this? Luckily, you don't really need to worry about the center wings, because they don't aggro on you for a while. Well, I didn't miss too much, because my first attempt I died too many times, so I couldn't get enough karma to go through the farm raise gate. That's what I did first. I got the echo and farm raise, and now I'm heading up to the chimney echo, as well as getting over to Sky Islands. This room can be pretty bad sometimes, although it's take a bit of a shortcut as Rivulet. Already starting to rain. Almost. Luckily, that's just a white lizard. So you're gonna want to go up here to activate this echo. I kind of like Rivulet's short cycles. You don't really have to worry about getting all the time out of a cycle as possible. That was especially the case as the hunter if you're doing score runs. You wanted to, like, even if you already got a decent amount of kills and, whoa. And you've already gotten to the shelter that you wanted to get to, but you still have like half the time left in the cycle. You might think, well, I should just go out and get a few more kills for the points. And then you die and you have to reset the whole cycle. But for Rivulet, it's so short that you pretty much can only do one thing every cycle. Go to the shelter. That's pretty much it. You're just going from shelter to shelter, and you don't really choose which one to stay at. It's just whichever one you can get to in time. Hello. Goodbye. You can die after seeing an echo and it doesn't count. I hope. I mean, if maybe you'll have time to hit the game over screen. So this run is very short. in my last attempt, even with a ton of deaths, it was about 50 minutes. So I might be able to complete a few of these runs in one stream. That gives me an opportunity to try a couple different strategies. Like maybe I'll get the wall echo one time, or I'll go through the gutter. Like you just get the perfect amount of distance for an extended slide there. So this is a bit of a rough strategy. Because it involves going to getting this echo and then going to a shelter. And getting to that echo means you have to go through a handful of very difficult rooms. I love that you can do those jumps easily as a Rivulet. Okay, I don't like that lizard. And also that you can go through this bottom route really easily. If you can't get bat flies for food, sometimes it helps to... It's easier to get this popcorn plant up there, but that depends on how many lizards are there. It might be not worth the hassle. So the reason I said this strategy is a bit difficult is because it involves skipping this shelter here. I have enough time. It's better to activate the echo and then go to the shelter. Oh, great. That's unfortunate. If I didn't turn the wrong direction there, I could have made it. This cycle's much too short to do that strategy. There's plenty of ways I can bounce with that lizard. You could probably make that with some different movement. But I don't think it's worth the risk. I want to get a few more bat flies than that. So I can find some over here. Ah. I mean, I had the option. It was there. I could have just gotten those bat flies instead. Skylands is probably the area in this run that has the biggest difference between a good and bad run. Oh great, I just pinned it to the wall. Like, you could really optimize the movement in this room in particular, but it'd also be very risky. I'm playing it safe, just so I can get through the run. And I think I'm gonna have to stay in this shelter. That's unfortunate. Ideally, you would have enough time to activate the echo and then shelter. There may be a strategy where it's useful to have a passage. Hold up, I probably should have eaten that. There's not really any other good places for food. That's another good thing about skipping that shelter, is that you don't have to get food. So this is the room that's usually quite a bit of a problem. Rivulet really helps with that. You know what? That still works out. I think the echo still is active. Extended slide. See, that was kind of optimal. So now I can see this echo, but maybe it would have been better if I made it to the next shelter. I'm not gonna get the karma flower. Really have to worry about it at this point. So if you can grab onto the pole, that's faster. I think it's actually better to just do a regular jump there instead of a charge pounce, because you can get enough height to grab onto the second pole. I think if you do a pounce, then you can just grab onto the lowest one. Probably shouldn't do a glide pounce there, because you'll just hit that next platform. I mean, I can't stay in that shelter. I should just keep going. I don't think I need this cherry bomb. It'd be nice if I can find a popcorn plant or a centipede for food. This cycle is quite short. There's not many echoes on the path that or not many shelters on the path that I want to go to. There is in fact an echo on the path that I'm going to. Or no, I don't think noodle flies count. Noodle fly eggs count. Goodness. They didn't hit me. So ideally you would have a long enough well, ideally you would stay in that shelter, but before the gate, that you would have enough time to get through all of Farm Arrays in a single cycle. This is a short one, so I have to stay in this shelter. It's a bit further behind than I would like. Oh, flooded. Well, I guess this gives me enough time. And the route that I'm going is mostly underwater anyway. So hopefully this isn't too big of a problem. Also, this is the first time it's rained early. It happens a lot more often as Rivulet. Yeah, I might have actually died for fall damage if I jumped too high there. That'd be funny. I don't know where the spear went though. It's better to try to get into one of these tunnels before it starts raining heavily so that you can actually make a little bit of progress instead of just waiting it out. So I'm not going to get any food because there's plenty of food around the shelter I'm going to. And this is the route that I'll be taking. Pretty sure this area was added just so that Rivulet can get through Farm Arrays fast enough. Because you might not have enough time, given their short cycles, to make it taking the deer. So this is a very lengthy underwater area. That may be only possible as Rivulet. I don't know about the other slug pets though. One of the bubble fruit got popped. Wait, wrong way. You want to keep going down here. This is the area that only Rivulet can make it through. This whole room is underwater. Although this next area is above ground, so I will have to worry about the rain. Oh, that was pretty convenient timing. Hopefully these bees aren't a problem. And they are, of course. Thank you, rain. Although they seem to already have ran out of their time. I find it interesting that bubble fruit even exists. Because considering these rains, like you would think they would immediately pop. Like, how do any bubble fruit exist on the surface without getting popped by the rain first? And even not just the rain, but the floods in underground areas. But somehow there's just bubble fruit everywhere. Okay, let's not be in the worm grass when this happens. I like this route gives you a reason to go through this new area in Farm Arrays. Otherwise, you'd just be doing a repeat of the other slug cuts route through Farm Arrays. This is something I'm not entirely sure of. If it's better to stay in this shelter or the one in the next few rooms. Because then you don't have to go through the gate multiple times. Because normally you would stay in the shelter, go through the gate, see the echo, return to the shelter, and then go through the gate again. But this way, you only have to go through the gate one time. And it's not that far of a path. Like that's as far as I need to go to get to this shelter. And it's right next to the popcorn plant too. So honestly, okay. Actually, no. Never mind what I was about to say. Because you need to get the echo. This rain doesn't really affect me, except for in this room. As long as I don't die of fall damage in this room. Alright, now it's just here to the depths. Going through that room is probably a lot faster than going through a gate. Okay, let's not fall into the worm grass. So I'm holding on to one of these cherry bombs in case I run into lizards. Why is it flooding? Usually don't see any flooding during these early rains. Actually, never mind. You definitely do. Some areas like shaded or filtration can be a real problem when it's flooded, which actually is pretty concerning to me right now, considering that I want to go through filtration right now when it's raining. So this may be a bit of a problem. Yeah, this whole room is filled with water. What? And this one? Well, it kind of makes it faster. Is this the meta? Wait for it to rain. Cover yourself in oil. I mean... Okay, I don't like this centipede. Or this spider. You see that spider totally dodged my rock throw, even in this tiny little tunnel. Okay, I couldn't tell if that centipede was alive or not. Yeah, the whole area below me is flooded. That's kind of bizarre. Hopefully, filtration. It's all underwater. I can still kind of see myself, but it's a little too dark for that in the lower rooms. Sorry if it's too dark to see anything. I can't see anything either. Is this next room completely flooded too? Yes. I actually can't see anything at all. Alright, we're waiting it out. Yay. I love early rain. Very fun mechanic. It does, the water level does drop over time. Not while it's still raining though. If I had any light source, I might be able to swim through all of filtration, or any food. Not that food would give me a light source. That is enough. Probably should have done that. This is what we call a time loss. So hope it doesn't rain on your last cycle. It's raining again. If I reset, does it? Okay, we're just oh, it's not flooded though, unless it's the water is just lower. Okay, I die. I guess there's just a random chance that the whole area is flooded, even if it does rain early. It may or may not be flooded. Have fun if it is. I did not mean to go this way. Also, eel lizard. So this is where you just hope that there isn't a lizard in the way. There is a lizard in the way. It's also pretty random whether there's moles down there or not. Oh, I am going down here. There's a lot of areas in the depths where I feel like there could be optimization. A lot of uneven terrain where it's hard to do long slides and extended slides and whatever. Okay, I did a wall pounce there and it kind of got me up. I wasn't holding on to an item. Another fun thing about Rivulet, you can just make this jump. Also, this area is spoilers for base game if you have yet to play it. I would recommend playing it. It's a very good game. So usually the strategy for this area as the survivor is just to throw everything you have. Everything on the ground, just throw it when you walk past to get some throw boosts. Although throw boosts don't really affect you that much as the Rivulet because you're already moving at a pretty high speed. There's a handful of flat areas where you can do it. You can do that. Also remember to catch your rocks after you throw them, in case you don't find any others. Also try not to get stuck on anything. Don't jump too high and jump often. I'm also a big fan of this run just because you can skip the most annoying parts of the survivor runs, which is having to go through the depths. Just Rivulet makes this process a lot faster. Also, be careful in this area. If you land directly in the void sea and you try to jump the swim down, you might get launched off into space. There's a decent chance that that happens. Also, as for swimming, I'm not exactly sure what the ideal timing is, because you could just spam jump to swim boost. I don't think that gives you, that's optimal. And also it can kind of kick you around uncontrollably as the Rivulet. Also, Rivulet's increased swimming speed makes this area a lot faster. Also, the bit rate might be dying right now. They have a remix setting for quieter gates and shelters, but they don't have a setting for quieter void. Although it doesn't really matter how fast you swim through this area, because the timer is already stopped at the top. And also this is usually where you stop timing for official speedruns too. Although I think you may still have to complete the run. So it's just for your own convenience finishing this area faster. For future attempts this stream, I may just stop at the entrance to the depths. Or maybe the entrance to, like, after the Guardians. Past, like, the buildings and when the ground gets all wavy. I might stop runs then. Because it can be a bit annoying to have to do this part over and over and over again when the movement isn't really that interesting. It's mostly just like spamming jump and throwing or boosting. Somehow Rivulet manages to swim just by clapping underwater. So yeah, I might not do the whole ending sequence for every run. But I think it's nice to start off with a one all the way through to completion. Also, something interesting about Rivulet, because of the way their swim boosting works, you can desync these. So like that's at the end. If you don't hold any directional inputs, and you just press jump, you can do this. And we'll just swim in random directions. And even after that, they don't completely sync up. I'll let this cutscene play in case anyone hasn't seen it, although it isn't that interesting. Yeah, the only difference there is a different ending portrait and then nothing after that. So the timer that shows on this screen, 33 minutes, is different than the one on the speedrun timer, which was 47 minutes. I got a higher score on this run than last time. So funny thing is that the speedrun timer actually gave me a different time than my last attempt. It was faster, but the time at this screen is slower, probably because of the time I spent waiting for the rain and filtration, as well as just dealing with the rain in general, because that wasn't really a problem in my last attempt. So yeah, 47 minutes 24 seconds. So I in like real time, this was faster than my last attempt, but without deaths, technically this would be slower. Anyway, another attempt. I think I'm gonna go for the wall echo instead of messing around in farmeries. Which, I'll also try going through the gutter. I haven't really figured out a good route through that, but it's pretty short, so it won't take that long, regardless of what I do. If you want to get a lot of height out of water, you need to do a few jumps really quickly. Okay, I'm supposed to have a good example here. Or you could just go a little deeper into the water to boost out of it. So the going together is interesting because it gives you kind of a head start up into chimney canopy. I'll also have a karma flower, but you need to spend more time getting karma and drainage. I think this might be a better strategy if you're karma caching, which I will not be using. So I gave that guy a spear. That might help out reputation just a little bit. Although I think your reputation as the Rivulet is a little bit negative. Probably similar to the Hunter. Go down. So I'll need to spend a decent amount of time getting karma. But I also have to do that for the Farmer's route. So this might just be about the same. There's also a lot of food in this area. Like there were bubble fruit and extra blue fruit in that room earlier. There's a decent amount of bubble fruit a few rooms ahead of this one. Hold up, I'm gonna get the pearl for my stomach. I gave you pearl, please don't hurt me. Okay, at least it was just a rock. If they throw a rock, then it's just a warning shot. They don't actually want to kill you, but they want you to leave. It's interesting how many mushrooms there are in this area. Oh, great. This looks wonderful. Just want to get rid of these snails. Thought there was an extra bubble fruit. Probably. Oh, it's right here. Okay, snail time lost. Maybe this isn't a good option for food. I don't know what these scavengers are doing, just sitting around all day. I'll probably head over to... Well, I don't know where's a good place to go for food next cycle. Actually, I think there's a shelter next to the gutter gate. I just get food on the way there. Might be a bit risky, but I'll do that. Here's the pearl from last cycle. Easy way to get some reputation. Just repeatedly give them the same colored pearl that respawns every cycle. Yeah, I could do a wall pass there. And it's just the gutter right here. There's another entrance further to the... on the right side of drainage. Not completely to the right, because that kind of brings you over to the like path to garbage wastes. Okay, is there any food over here? I'll have to be careful about the rain here. I mean, I wasn't really careful at all, but... Okay, I thought that there might be more food in this path. Hello, spider. Nice to meet you. Spiders are so odd sometimes. Okay, this was not a good option. better to go further to the left to get food. There's nothing over here. Also, I hope these jungle leeches aren't too big of a problem. Here's some food. So this is the other way that you get to... Hello? Okay, I really didn't want to have that leech on me, because they can drain your food. I don't have to spend a lot of time looking for something else. What's dead? Be careful about the rain here. Gotta just wait for it to do another cycle. Unless... Nope. Right when I'm about to go, it starts up. Mistake. I'm just gonna go. Yeah, you make that jump. Alright, so this route wasn't exactly optimal. That's mostly because of my own lack of knowledge about where food is in this area. Oh, there's not even a shelter up here. Should I just restart the run? Yes, I will. I thought I'd get a good idea of what this area would look like if it was done optimally. So I think I'll actually try to bring some more food from this starting area. So there's more things to get further or closer to the shelter. Who knows what happens up there? So that's ideal to jump up here immediately. I'll grab these fruit instead, or the ones further in. So that these fruit will be here for longer. That was better movement there too. Unfortunately, you can't really bring bat flies into shelters. They just evaporate for some reason. I think it's better to not eat anything, because they'll be eaten automatically. Maybe I should give a pearl to them. You know, it's interesting how no other creature eats food like slug cats do. Most creatures either aren't seen eating food ever, or they catch something and bring it back to their shelter. And either they just eat it in their shelter or they store it there to eat when it starts raining. There's no way a lizard eats like a large creature like in a few seconds. If you feed like a green lizard a whole blue lizard, it's not gonna eat that like in the 2 seconds it takes. It brings it back to its shelter. I didn't mean to go through there. So now I'll head a different direction to get the rest of this food. Don't fall down there. It's a bad idea. Oops. I'll grab the spear for the garbage or the kelp. Garbage kelp. Although you don't usually need it. I would like bat flies though. Careful of that eel lizard. I just kind of walked past that. Did not care at all. So for this strategy, you kind of just spend a long time in drainage. It would be faster with karmic caching. Although, who knows if that'll be allowed. Well, whether it's allowed or not kind of depends on if you want to make the rules based around like what's just most fun to run. If people who run this category find it annoying to go back and forth getting enough food, that's like the only reason why you would want to use karmic caching. That's I guess the reason why we used it before. And now that there is an option to... Okay, that was just a snail and not a... That scavenger was amazed that I could pop bubble fruit just by holding it. Except it might have just been the water. So it's a decent amount of it in here. Oh, wonderful spider. Although it's going in the correct direction. So the fun thing about the gutter is that I have no idea where I'm going. I'm not very familiar with this area. Although I have an idea of where I want to go. I have enough food. Hello? Two in the right direction. That doesn't seem to go anywhere. Oh, I know where this goes, actually. Is the rain gonna be a problem? I'm not really being affected by it right now. I missed. I saw that lizard way too late, and I just missed right in front of me. It's still raining. I find this pretty annoying. The easiest route out of all these might just be going through outskirts and industrial. No karma farming, no scavenger tolls. Just enough food, yes. I will be holding onto a rock and a spear this time. I think I want to shelter here, just to get rid of the rain. I'm pretty confident in being able to make it through gutter and chimney in one cycle. And also because there's a shelter right here. It's not out of the way at all. I think I'm just gonna have to go the same way that I went last time just to get the karma flower back. But keeping in mind the possibility of white lizards. And it's raining again. So I didn't really have to do that. I can probably just make this jump, yeah. Can't exactly tell how far that pole went down. Oh, great. There's kind of a waterfall here, so I didn't notice the rain effect on top of it. Even though I should have been looking out for the rain anyway. Probably could have eaten that. Karma flower? Hello? Oh, no karma flower except just leaf lizard. No. We're good. That's a pretty close jump. It seems like it's just raining here, but it doesn't really affect you at all. Like the effect is there, but I'm not being pushed around like normal. Also, this route through gutter brings you to this part of chimney. So I suppose I'll just go through here. Because if you take the other path through gutter, you pretty much just go back through the route that you would take normally. Yeah, I wanted to do a backflip to get up there. Oh, the monster kelp there. That's exactly what I wanted. Be quiet. Oh, come on. I thought I made it past. Let's go the other way. It's a good opportunity to get an idea of which path I would prefer in an actual run. This area is kind of mostly underwater. Specifically this room. You also have to deal with a few more eel lizards. Maybe less spiders. Mostly in this room. Oh, you don't need to go up there. One of those is a pull plant anyway. I think this path might just be shorter anyway. Oops. I don't need to do this. I don't know if it matters which way you go here, if the stream is symmetrical. No, I don't think there's another pass from the other side. Now in chimney. Goodness. Okay, that's a good way to get through it. So from here you can pretty much just go over to the left and you're back where you would normally be to go through chimney. Except the gutter part of the threat music is still playing. Oh goodness. It's not ideal. Okay, I managed to get through there before all the lizards came. I would like this karma flower. Wonder how that threat music works. Like once you've been in gutter, that's just how the threat music is, or just because that threat level was playing constantly, it stayed like that. Please get out of the way. I say to a dead lizard. think it is about to rain though. Oh, actually no. Well, actually yes. That can be snail. Just walk a little bit. Okay. I think its den might be around very close to here. Snail? I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it. I don't know what happened. I'm taking it. Huh? What? I just appeared in that den? I need to look back at this. What happened? Anyway, what I was going to say is that that jump from earlier can be a bit difficult since the pole that you're trying to get to is off screen. $18 minutes. I don't know what time I was at last attempt. So I just went through the floor and came out of the den. That's interesting. That feels like more of a collision than some kind of bug. So the collision can be kind of janky in this game. Anyway, it's raining. Not ideal. Especially for next cycle when I need to go through Sky Islands. I just need to get this echo. I don't know if the rain will stay here after getting an echo. Okay, that was a bit close. Okay, rain wasn't a problem. Why would you do that to yourself? I like speedrunning. Well, it varies. But I think I like it for streaming. Because, you know, some runs might take many attempts, and the stream is a good time to just kind of chill. Yes, it's much faster as the Rivulet. I'm doing the Ascension route instead of the Rivulet's regular campaign, because I feel like the campaign doesn't let you take advantage of your movement as much as the regular areas do. Like when you have to deal with the raw and submerged superstructure. Okay, the rain just forced me back through the pipe. Don't get rain dropped. Alright. Although there is still the problem with the early rains, like what's happening now. I think it can happen. If I was dangerous, I definitely could have died there. Don't do that. Because these early rains can make some areas a lot more difficult than they normally are. Or just like, they just kind of waste your time. Okay, don't get snailed. Oh, come on. I want to get through there before the rain picked up again. So at least I'd be able to make some progress through that room. So here I want to activate the echo and then stay in the shelter. Okay, this is a very bad room to be in. You definitely die from fall damage. Being pushed down by the rain. Seems like you aren't able to go through pipes unless you're holding some kind of directional input, at which it depends on your position, which direction you go through the pipe. So I was holding up, but the rain pushed me down enough to go through the pipe. Okay, I messed that up again. And that. Oh no, the orange lizard see me. Okay, this room kind of sucks. Some of these areas are just impossible to cross while it's raining. This next area might be difficult. Hopefully the pre-cycle's almost over. Almost is, I think. It's getting brighter. I would not like to deal with you. Rainbow. Okay, staying in this shelter. I still can't exactly tell if this run has been faster or slower than the last one. Oh, food. Okay, hold up. There's a popcorn plant just outside. This isn't too big of a problem. Bat size would be nice too. Time lapse restart. Well, in that case, I would restart every time it rained early, and it'd take way too many attempts to actually complete a run. That's probably my biggest problem with this run, is just having to deal with the RNG of the rain. There is an option to make that, I guess, that it can't happen. But that, I don't know, that kind of feels like cheating, because it's like one of the main mechanics for Rivulet's campaign. That as well as cycle length RNG. Whoops. Held down for a bit too long there. Can't have rain world without rain. Well, it's not really the rain that's the problem, it's the shelter breaking. Which doesn't really make sense. Like, why is it that the shelters are breaking most frequently for the Rivulet compared to the other slug guts? Not even as the Saint, who's, oh great, I messed up both times. But not even as the Saint, does it happen as often? In fact, I don't even think it can happen at all as the Saint. Even though, like, they're later in the timeline, it's not like the shelters have broken down even more. I don't have enough karma. I forgot to go to the wall echo. I can still go to the farm raise one, except it would not be very good at all. No more range of snow. Yeah, but isn't the problem is that it would be too cold? If the shelters opened up early, then you'd still have to. Well, I guess. I don't know. Can't you just jump past the guardians? No, you cannot. Unless there is some kind of tech, but I'm not aware of that. This is the wrong direction. That doesn't go anywhere. I'm very familiar with the layout of farmers. So this is kind of annoying because I have to activate the echo first. That's multiple cycles spent in an area that I didn't want to go to. Yeah, most of the methods for getting past guardians has been patched out. Although there are still a few ways, like singularity bombs. And I think you can still distract them with other creatures. If you bring a vulture grub. Okay, I've spent too much time here. I can't risk activating that hive. Also, vulture just chilling up there. I don't have a pearl. I don't have a pearl. I do not have a pearl. I don't have a pearl. I think I have to restart this run. Unless I want to go up to the wall, all the way up through the back to the wall. Although I have to do it very, very quickly. I guess I can give it an attempt. How do you get there as Artificer? Carry a scavenger down. Their karma adds to your karma, so as long as you have at least 5 levels, and you have a karma or a scavenger with 5 karma, then that's enough to get past the guardians. I think that's how it works, at least. So the most karma that Artificer can get is max of 9, I think. 9 or 8. So my intended route was to go to the echo at the wall. That's why I went through the gutter, because I would end up at Chimney Canopy and I'd be closer. Instead of going to Farm Raise first. But I forgot to go to the wall. Excuse me, can you get out of there? Also, there may be a vulture here. I think it was leaving. Or busy with something else. So this is still possible if I can make it to the wall before it starts raining. Because it doesn't rain at the top of the wall. And since the echo is already activated, then I'll just be sent all the way back here. Okay, that didn't work out, but still managed to get through. Okay, luckily I actually made that. It's already about to rain. I don't think that's possible to make it over to the wall. Saving enough food in this area. Kayava, now is not the time. I'm still alive. Not anymore. See, I just wanted to start the next one with a good song. Yes, passaging is allowed. It's just that a lot of the time, the route through the route is like very optimized, where you don't really want to backtrack at all. For this speedrun, it might be ideal to get a bunch of echoes and then pass it back to drainage system, and then getting to filtration from there. And also, sometimes it takes too long to get passage at all. Go. Has anyone ever heard this song play in drainage system? I think I want to try the strategy of just going through outskirts. Because for the pebbles percent as the survivor, strategy is to go up to pebbles to get enough karma, and then save and exit, and that sends you back to outskirts if that's where you last sheltered. And then from outskirts you go to drainage, down to filtration. If you couldn't save and exit to warp back to outskirts with the mark and enough karma, then you'd probably use the passage there. Although it is quite difficult to get a passage, you need to survive enough cycles to get survivor at least. And that would require, like, usually you can get up to pebbles in a single cycle, so that would require you to spend multiple cycles in an somewhere to get enough karma, or to just survive enough cycles. The one Slarka I think has to just make the biggest difference in is Spear Master. Because you can... Because you can use the passage to carry the pearl with you that you need to complete the campaign. And it's much easier to do everything without holding onto the pearl. The dots at the bottom of the screen is a breath meter. It's something you can enable in remix mode. So you can see how long you can stay underwater. Can you please get out of the way? Ooh, unfortunate. So I'd like to give you a pearl. I gave you a pearl. And I'll grab this next pearl in this room. Unless, okay, it's over here. Okay, it's good that the eel is in that room and not in this tunnel. Save some time. Okay, sometimes extended sleds can be a bit difficult as the Rivulet, because you need to delay them a bit longer than usual. And your slide is so long that sometimes, you know, you go a little further than you expect before you have to throw. You'd never have to worry about green lizard. Great. You just jump all over them and they don't care. That's if the dots are white. That indicates your breath. But if they're red dots instead, then it's a threat level indicator. It basically tells you what threat music would be playing without having to hear the music. So if another song is playing or if you have music turned off, you can see like if there's any threats in a room without seeing any. It actually sent me too high and bonked. Hello, Vulture. Had a bath. Oh, great. Okay, I think I can get through here. Just a centipede. And a lizard. Or kneel. I love centipedes. So, carry a spear. Centipedes don't care about rocks. That would have been fine if that other lizard didn't show up. And that lizard only showed up there because it was raining. It's wonderful. You wouldn't have been able to get that spear up there if I wasn't here. Just saying. And now the eel's probably in this room. Actually, I managed to perfectly go at the right time. Remember to hold on to a spear this time. For all situations. This is Rain World. It's in the title of the stream, as well as in the description. It's a world where it's raining. Not die to a centipede. Oh, come on. The rock! I couldn't even eat the karma flower again, and now I don't have enough karma. Okay. Restarting that one. Every time I mess up that slide, it's death to the monster kelp. Unfortunate. For my crimes? What did I do? I didn't kill any scavengers. Was it because I stabbed the white lizard? Sometimes I get caught in those blocks on this side. I don't have any weapons. Scavengers will actually be more aggressive with you if you're holding onto a spear. And moving around too much. Just playing the game is a crime. That's unfortunate. So now it's not raining. Bit of RNG for this run. So the creature spawns are going to be completely different. Also, I don't know why I stayed in that shelter. I don't usually do that. That's how you'd get through that room, ideally. I guess it might be good to stay in that shelter earlier. You waste less time in case it starts raining. You can just restart the run. Scavengers? Not this time. And the eel decided to move out of the way. Nice that you can check your map and not prevent the gate from closing. How much food do I have? Enough. Centipede is further up. That's... If you do that room correctly, you don't even have to deal with the kelp. Turning around in the gate. Yeah, might as well. So I don't really have to hold on to this pearl, but I... Just in case I ran into scavengers. But since I didn't give scavengers to... Since I didn't give a pearl to the scavengers, I'll have a lower reputation than normal. Hello. Decent chance of centipedes in these rooms. Oops. Didn't even do a backflip. So staying in those shelters gives you enough karma to get through this gate. And hopefully I can get through all of Chimney in this cycle since it's a bit longer. I need to remember to actually get the wall echo. And of course it started raining. Right when this lizard showed up. Luckily he's not interested. That's nice. Vented orange lizard zone. Try to get that out of the way. That was a little bit more difficult than it should have been because of the caramel lizard. Wow, rain in Rain World. Excuse me. Goodness. Okay, this guy might be a problem. Favorite lizard? I don't know. Really thought about it. I didn't mean to fall down. Not like that last mini time. I like the strawberry lizards. Because they have an interesting enough AI that they feel like a unique creature. I could have also gotten this popcorn plant. Might have been faster. Okay, don't do that. That's a time loss. I would like cyans more if they weren't spammed across the map for every slugcat that has hunter spawns. Same with orange lizards, they just become too excessive by the time you get to Rivulet and Saints campaign. There's just orange lizards everywhere. And I would like orange lizards more if they were used less frequently. Centipedes really do not care about rocks at all. Although if that leap lizard, thank you. I like to do this for this room. Just kidding. Hello? Okay, it does not want to work. Or just skill issue. Just a little overboard. Like when you enter a room with 5 leap lizards in it, it feels impossible to get through it without a vulture mask. They used to be a bit more special, yeah. That was RNG. I mean, obviously me jumping straight into a white lizard, that's not RNG. That's me being bad, but whether I died to that or not was completely random. So, because I could have immediately thrown a spear and I would have been fine. Yo, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Just died to a white lizard. If you saw that. Okay, I messed up my own strategy. That was very close. So that orange lizard. That orange, they didn't expect me to jump across between those. White lizards are one of my least favorite lizards for speedruns, but one of my favorites every other time. So when you're trying to get through an area quickly, the last thing you want is a creature that just sits there and blocks your path. But when you're just playing normally, there's like many different ways to deal with white lizards that are pretty interesting. Oh yeah, I have a popcorn plant. So there seems to be a white lizard up here consistently. And maybe I shouldn't go up this. I can take this pipe. Do I see a white lizard? No. Okay, so I'm going to activate the chimney echo and then get the wall echo. Get the chimney echo and then hit the sky island. That's the plan. But the problem with this strategy is that you don't get an echo as early. Because if you go to farm raise, you'll get the echo in before leaving outskirts. That gives you some extra karma, although that's actually not a problem at all, because for speedruns you would rather not die ever. What's my PB? 47 minutes from earlier in this stream. Wait, I can just popcorn plant again. Actually, I don't need food at all this cycle. I haven't done like too many full attempts at of a Rivulet run. I've mostly done these kind of practice runs where I'm fine with dying. It's probably going to take a while for me to start attempting like an actual run, where if anything bad happens, I'll reset it. Well, not anything bad, but anything significant. Like, I probably would have restarted if I died to that white lizard in a normal run. But I just rather want to like get practice in, instead of just restarting a drainage system over and over again. Because I have attempted full runs before, but they usually always ended in outskirts. Yeah, I just like got to outskirts, died, restarted, repeat that over and over again. That's what most of my Rivulet runs look like. Eventually I get around to trying some on stream. Drop work? Nope. I don't know if there's leaf lizards here or orange lizards. Although you can usually get through this area so fast it doesn't matter too much. The strategy. Okay, I messed up. If you throw both of the rocks upwards, you can make it up to that pole. It does look like it's orange lizards. So as long as I can deal with the white lizards, I'll be fine, but that's not always that easy. Okay, I have a rock. Okay, I thought one of those clouds was a white lizard. Sometimes they like to get stuck in this tunnel right here. And I got stuck in that pole for some reason. Well, I know why, because I tried to climb up and I wasn't in the right space. One of those games that just makes you paranoid. At any moment. There could be a white lizard, there could be a scavenger off screen. Could be a pole plant. We're not going to Pebbles. Hello. I remember watching someone play Rain World, and they got to the depths, but they were freaking out the whole time because they were waiting for some kind of threat to show up, even though there's like nothing that can kill you in the depths. And they had enough karma to get through the Guardians. Wait. Gimme. Goodbye. So they were in like one of the safest areas in the game and still like expecting something dangerous to show up out of nowhere. Just like depths was it's like as if it was just another region. Instead of essentially a glorified ending cutscene. Watching beginners get stuck in outskirts for 3 hours. That hurts. I don't like watching that. That's usually more of a personal experience, like getting familiar with Rain World and its controls and environments. But watching someone else go through that process is kind of just painful. You know, now that you mentioned Green Lizard, I can complain about their placements in the game. I feel like the fact that Green Lizards are in the first area is kind of bad game design. Because it teaches you that lizards are very hard to fight. If you fight a lizard, it does not care. So like green lizards, if you throw a rock at them, then they aren't stunned for that long. They'll just turn right back around. Even though using rocks is one of the main ways you defeat lizards, not green lizards, they are stunned for a lot less time. And next, that they take a lot of spears to kill. So if you're getting used to the way Rain World works and you're like, oh, I'll try hitting this lizard with a rock or a spear, you'll throw a few spears and it just won't die. And you'll be like, okay, don't fight. You know, green lizards just kind of teach you, like, don't ever try to fight things, because green lizards are actually very difficult to fight. They take a lot of spears to kill, and they aren't stunned for very long from rocks. So then it kind of conditions you to not try to fight any creature at all. Like, oh, even though a pink lizard only takes a few spears and it's very easy to stun them with rocks, you know, you might not even attempt to fight them because they've learned to just avoid things when possible. And pink lizards are better at being like an example of that, since there are a decent amount of them in outskirts, but there's not too many. It's mostly still just green lizards. And pink lizards are so fast that, you know, it can kind of overwhelm you. Also, another thing that's bad about pink lizards is that they still fight you, even if they're injured. So most creatures, you can just stab them a single time with a spear, and they just try to run away, and they no longer are interested in fighting you. Unless, of course, they have a lot more health, and they don't mind being stabbed by a single spear. So you think, oh, I stabbed this pink lizard, but it still killed me afterwards. So still be scared of injured creatures, even though that's not the case. You can pretty much ignore a creature once you attack it at least once. If it's fairly small. Of course, like a vulture doesn't care if you stab it once. In fact, it's gonna run away if you stab it another time. It's actually kind of nice that I picked up this bat. I keep thinking that first platform is in the background. Your first playthrough is basically pacifist. I think that's the case for a lot of people. It's like the controls are kind of janky and throwing spears is a bit strange. You're not used to it, so you just avoid fighting altogether, which I think is a decent strategy. You don't need to fight things. But then you play the hunter and you have no idea what to do because it's very helpful to hunt as the hunter. You haven't learned the most fundamental strategies. Like all you need to fight lizards is a single rock and a single spear, and you're pretty good, except against like green and red lizards. And most other creatures is just spam spears against centipedes or spiders. If you have enough spears, you're good. Hunting as the hunter, yes. Also, I kind of wish more of the new slug cats were less based on the hunter. A lot of them have hunter spawns or worse. Like there's red creatures are pretty common for any of the downpour slug cats, except for Gourmand, which has kind of a mix of survivor spawns and hunter spawns. I did not mean to do that. What's that? But Gourmand kind of has the difficulty of just dealing with stamina if you don't know how it works. Just went for popcorn plants. If there weren't hunter spawns, people would complain about the game being too easy. Yeah, sometimes I feel like it's a little bit too excessive when there's like just like in some areas in Chimney Canopy there's just like tons of orange lizards and Santa wings and leaf lizards as the rivulet. As a survivor, it's very rare to see more than a few lizards in a single room. That feels more realistic. Like, how are all these lizards going to survive when they all like share the same like food source? You know, like is that group of like 10 orange lizards actually gonna find enough food to survive? Okay. And like that was a bit rough. The leaf lizards at the top of the wall. What are they eating? Like actually, there's 5 of them. What do they eat? There's like a dropwig, and like a blue lizard. Cannibals. Of course, these plants are perfectly placed so that you can't see what you're doing. Doesn't have a well-defined ecosystem. Yeah, it kind of feels like a challenge. I think that's the point, right? Like purpose organisms created by, that's the wrong way. Created by 5 pebbles to defend his exterior from random creatures. And I guess it would explain why there's not leaf lizards for the other slug cats, except for the fact that there are leaf lizards for the other slug cats even later in the timeline. I think there are. Yeah, some people had theories that the red creatures would go extinct like after the hunter, because you know before downpour we just saw that there were red creatures for the hunter, and not for any of the other slug cats. So oh they were, I don't know, something was like preventing them from continuing on as a species, and they became extinct. Why do I always do that? But then we see red creatures as the other slug cats further in the timeline, and that theory is kind of disproven. I feel like it might have something to do with like so the monk is described as being like in tune with nature, and that their journey will be a significantly more peaceful one. So I have a theory that it might have something to do with the slug cat. It, like, depends on like what their spawns will be, or will it affect what their spawns are. Except that doesn't really make sense considering the Saint has some of the worst spawns in the game, and they're supposed to be in tune with karma or whatever, karmically adjusted, however it works in this game. So if the Saints were in the same situation as the monk, then they should have the easiest spawns, but the Saint spawns seem to be more defined by like evolution, like, oh, these are the creatures that are most adapted to a cold environment, right? I can't do that anymore. Saint is secretly evil. Maybe. Oh, this kind of sucks. If I have the same problem with the flooded filtration system. Oh, the Saints, but they have like bombs. Maybe I'll play that mod. I'm thinking about making a video that's like a combat guide for the Saint, because there's a decent way they can still fight things, even though you can't use spears. Actually, I think I'm gonna shelter earlier. Is this enough food? Yes. So that the rain goes away and I don't get a flooded filtration, unless there's a, you know, a bit of a lizard problem. Saints point runs. Do you guys wanna, well, even if I do get through there, there's still just gonna be all the lizards in the way. Yeah, that would happen. Maybe I shouldn't stay in that shelter. Held spacebar and skipped the tutorial. Did you not figure out how to use your ability? Chill Rubicon. Well, yeah, because you're required to use that. So if there's orange lizards here, of course there's orange lizards here. That's literally their den right above the... Although if they just keep going... You know, that one particular orange lizard kind of looks like it's from Rubicon. Kind of lighter shade of yellow. If honestly, Rubicon is the one reason I haven't done a Saint speedrun yet. because I really like playing as a Saint. It's probably one of my favorite campaigns, except for Rubicon. I don't actually need to go up there. Saint difficulty is overrated. Yeah, I think that Saint is actually one of the easier ones. Like Spearmaster and Rivulet are probably more difficult. No. Okay, that's my strategy for getting past the centipedes. The problem with Saint is that they were originally designed as the challenging look at. Like, oh, this is the super hard mode. You can't use spears to defend yourself. And that's why Rubicon is there, because it used to be just like the super hardcore, like red lizard spam, red centipedes. Like the most challenging area in the game. But then they, when the more slugcat, or the mini slugcats, whatever it's called, when it got expanded into Downpour, you know, it kind of had to be balanced into like an actually interesting game instead of just like super hardcore mode. But Rubicon stayed for lore reasons, I guess. And to also justify the special ability. And now we have N for that, yeah. Saints did originally lose all of their karma on death if they didn't have a karma flower. And you would also lose your ability if you went below 10 karma. Well, you couldn't have in between 10 and... If you got to 10 karma, you'd get your ability, and if you died, you would lose it. Although, I don't know how it would change Rubicon. I think actually one of the biggest things I'd change about it is to get rid of the multiple paths. Because I spent way longer than I should have in Rubicon by going up one route and then going down another. And then taking it like another unnecessary path to the end. So I probably spent like 3 times as long as I should have if I were to just go in the right direction the whole time. Because there's like 3 different paths that you can go to get through Rubicon. Except you don't know that, you just see a ton of rooms and you're like, what is going on? And I saw one room that looked like memory crypts, and I was like, nah, I don't want to go to memory crypts. And turns out that was the one way I should have gone. And I ended up going all the way back through like half of the region. And back when I shouldn't have. Also, the shelter placement's pretty bad. And sometimes you just miss the one route that has the shelter on it, and you go way more rooms without a shelter than you should. Especially, also, another problem is that a lot of players are probably going to get the last echo they need and then immediately head to the depths. I kind of messed around with the iterators for a while, as well as just kind of exploring more of the map before going to the depths, so I was more familiar with the mechanic. But I imagine that if you say get the subterranean echo and then immediately head to the depths, you have no idea how to use your ability, and you're in the like one of the most difficult areas that expects you to use the ability. And also, it just takes forever. Like, it has the same problem that I have with this ending. I guess I'm doing it right now. I don't have a problem with this because I'm playing as Rivulets and you're like twice as fast. But I don't like this ending for speedruns. You know, it's cool for your first time experience when you're like, what is going on? And all this crazy stuff happens. But when you're just doing, a bunch of speedruns, then it just takes forever. The last like 20 minutes of your run is just going through this area. And that's like twice as long for the Saint, because once you enter once you enter the room before 5 pebbles, the whole path to the ending just takes forever. Because you not only have to do the same Void Sea swim, but then there's like the whole like minute or two of just like the like white void after that, when your karma is going down, as well as going through the zero G area before that. That's something that I wish was changed, and it's also something that I like about the new campaigns. You just get to the area and congratulations, you beat the game. And there's no like drawn out sequence. You touch the Void Sea and disintegrate. What's the timer at the top? You can't see it, it's too bright. 37, 56. That's better. Like 10 minutes faster. With a handful of deaths. How does it work? Is that how Jolly Co-op used to work before it was added to Downpour? Or is that how it still works now? If you go to the Void Sea in co-op. With the game overboarding. Okay, I still don't really know if I've learned anything from these attempts of which route I prefer. Because going through the wall was pretty smooth, but I don't know if that was faster than going to Farm Raise. If you get the Farm Raise Echo early, if you get that first, then you have to spend a bit of time getting Karma in Outskirts. And then you have to mess around with the Scavengers, because you have to get through the toll. But for the wall echo, you just need to go through the wall one time, and once you get the echo, you go all the way back to Chimney Canopy. So that might be a lot faster. I guess I can try timing it based on the few attempts I did this stream. Because there's too many differences between like deaths and just variation between my movements. And also like creature spawns that I can't have a definitive answer immediately. So it might take a lot of different attempts to figure out what's the best possible route. Or someone else is gonna figure it out and I'll just follow that. But I don't know if anyone else has done this specific run before. Well, probably, but I haven't seen any videos of it. Honestly, the kinds of runs that I'm most interested in are just the regular Survivor campaign with a different slug cat. Because with Jolly Co-op, you can just play as whatever slug cat you want as or in the Survivor's campaign. So I kind of want to do like a Saint or a Survivor's couple percent run as the Artificer or as the Saint, just to see how it goes. Because of course, even though I'm doing the same end goal of Ascension as the Rivulet, it's very different. You can't go to Pebbles. I don't even know if that would still be a good strategy to go to Pebbles, because he would give you, he acts like an echo normally, plus the echo at the top of the wall. But then you only need 2 other echoes, and you might as well get the one in Chimney Canopy. I guess that means you would skip the one in Sky Islands, because the others are faster than that. Oh, hold up. I gotta do the thing. Chaos. Trying to get as many slug pups as possible. How would you even manage that past like 3 of them? You just hope that they follow you around well. I don't need to watch this again. Only 20 minutes. That's a lot better. Oh, the food requirement, yeah. Only 20 minutes without deaths. And actually that I don't know if this time counts like the cycles where you get an echo. Because if you this timer on the I didn't even get the survivor passage. But this on this I can talk on the statistics screen. The timer like ignores cycles where you die. I don't know if that applies to echoes too. So if you spend like 10 minutes on a cycle to get to an echo, does it add 10 minutes to your time? Because this timer says 37 minutes or closer to 38. So that's like 18 more minutes. That probably includes echoes, right? Especially with the wall. That's actually probably why, because that's a whole cycle that you go from the chimney canopy shelter all the way up the wall to get an echo. So the time that it takes to do that might just not be included in the statistics screen. All right, well, I'm gonna end the stream now. Thanks everyone for watching. I'll be doing more speedruns in the future. Although it'll probably be a mix of interesting challenges or mods before I do mostly speedruns. Because for the sake of just like doing streams consistently, speedruns are the easiest. Because I could just try to do better than my last run, and there's plenty of categories. Random YouTuber, man. All right. See you, everyone.